Animations are a great way to engage your audience and bring interactivity to your PowerPoint slides. In order to access the library of animations, you'll click on the Animations tab to pull up the Animations ribbon. I'm going to make a few adjustments to this slide, moving the text box up, and let's insert another element. And let's insert a sticker from stock photography. I'll click on stock images, I'll go over to the stickers, and I'll just pick something at random. So now I have two elements on my slide. One is a text box with words, the other is a visual element, in this case a sticker. That could be a picture, it could be clip art. So if I want to animate those, I'll click on the animated tab while I have it selected. And if I select this drop down, then I can see I have various entrance effects, emphasis effects, and even exit effects. In this case, I want it to float in. I'll adjust the size of this, make it just a little bit bigger. And with that animation, I can see that I have a few different effects options. I can make it float in from the bottom up or from the top down. I'm going to keep it floating up. Now I want to animate this text box here. I'll select the text box and I'll choose another animation. Perhaps I want it to fade in. Now PowerPoint knows that this is a text box. In other words, it has words, characters, and sometimes even paragraphs or bullet points. And so the effects options are that it can appear as one object. If I had multiple paragraphs or multiple words, then I would have more options here, such as the sequence can be paragraph by paragraph if you wanted to animate bullet points individually. You can combine animations. Right now this is fading in, but I can add another one so that it flies in as well. Perhaps I'll have it float. And this time, since it's up top, I'm going to have it float down as it fades in. Now it's starting to get a little complicated. I have two elements on my slide, and both of the elements are animated. One of the elements has two animations. And so in order to keep track of everything, I'm going to open the animation pane so that I can see exactly what things are animated. And I can also see what triggers the animations. By default, they trigger on click, meaning on mouse click. If I click on the screen, something will happen. But in this case, I want them to appear all at once on the same mouse click. So I'm going to click on the Title 1 animations, select both of those, and I'm going to have it appear with the previous. In other words, when the cat is animating, these are going to animate at the same time. The other option would be that they can appear after previous, meaning one completes the animation and then the next one starts. Let's see what that looks like. Now when I click, I can see both of the animations appearing at the same time. Now with the animation pane selected, I can move these around as well. These two title animations are already selected, so I'm going to advance them on click. And then the cat animation, I'm going to drag it below. It's sequenced so that there's 1, 2, and 3 animations happening. I want this title animation to start with previous. So on one mouse click, then both of the animations will execute. With the cat, I want to start that after previous. And I can see a preview of a mini timeline and how long it will take. I can adjust the timeline as well so that it can be 1 second. You can adjust the duration and the delay up here as well. For example, if I wanted the cat to appear, but let's delay it by 1/4 of 1 second. So after the first animations execute, which they'll execute at the same time, after 1/4 of a second, then the cat will appear as well. And it's going to take 1 second for the cat to animate. I'm going to bump that down to maybe 1/2 second. And so you can see that mini timeline adjusting there as well. So let's see what that looks like. Here's the first animation. After a slight delay, the second animation appears. And you can see that the second one appears much quicker than the first one. The first one takes about 1 second to complete. The second animation, which is the cat, takes about 1/2 second to complete. Now let's do one more thing. These elements animated onto the slide. Now I want to animate them off of the slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the two elements and I'm going to add an animation and I'm going to select an exit animation. You can choose any of these that you want. For me personally, I prefer fade or maybe flying out. The other ones are a little bit juvenile, but it's your choice. So I'll go ahead and click the fade out. Now since I selected both of them at the same time and added the animation to both of them at the same time, the animation appears at the same time. And I could change that. If I want one to fly out after the other, then I can choose after previous instead of with previous. Or I can control all of the animations with my mouse or keyboard and choose start on click. I'm okay with them both animating at the same time. So let's see what that looks like. Here they are coming onto the screen, and when I click on my keyboard, they fade away. The very last thing I'll show you is a motion animation. So for that, I'm going to move the cat over to the right part of the screen, and I'm going to add one more animation, which is a motion path. Now you could also do an emphasis if you want to explore those. For me, I'm just going to create a line. So this line has two dots. One is a green dot, one is a red dot. The green dot is the starting point, and the red dot is where it wants to end up. I want it to go to the left. And so I'm going to have it start where I placed it, and it's going to finish over here. And I can see that the duration is about 2 seconds. Now I don't want that animation, the motion path, to appear after the image has disappeared, so I'm going to click and drag this right into the middle. So this motion path will occur after the entrance animations, but before the exit animation. You can easily reorder animations as well by clicking on it and moving it up and down. I prefer just drag it with the mouse. So for the last time, let's see what we have. And there you go, some interesting animations to engage and create interactive content for your slides.